We're now going to walk through the frequently made mistakes for assignment 2B. This is a preliminary walkthrough based on the code that's been submitted so far. First, speaking of code, make sure you document your code. People are still not documenting their code. What I will do two things. Let me add another thing here. Please document the code and also make sure to address all of the comments here or your code won't be reviewed. So first of all, make sure you document your code. Some people are not documenting your code, won't be reviewed. Make sure you address all the comments that I put forth here, or I won't review your code, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then the other thing here, make sure that you have the -- enabled preview set in the VM options for the database service. And let me show you how to do that. So here we are in the Recommender Server project. What you need to do is go in and you need to select Edit Configurations, and you want to edit the configuration that relates to the database application. Let's see if we can go ahead and grab that one. That's up here. So you want to go ahead and grab the database application, which is here. And what you should do is make sure that you go into Modify Options and you click on Add VM Options. I just turned it off, but you would go ahead and add the VM options and then make sure that you have Enable Preview put in the VM options. If you don't have that, then this code will not work with the version of Java that we're using, and you'll have problems. So make sure that you do that, otherwise there'll be chaos and insanity ensuing. So make sure you enable preview. Now let's take a look at some issues with movie list. A couple things here. First of all, the unit test expects that you first load the movie's database into a local map variable, and then you print out the following message indicating how much was loaded, just a way to make sure that you're loading things properly. And then go ahead and have the stream where you do the rest of the code and return the result. Down here, make sure that you use the movie constructor reference here as opposed to doing a new movie this way using a lambda expression. It's a bit more concise. And then secondly, again, there's no need to pass any parameters to sorted as long as you implement the comparison operators for the movies class, the movie class correctly. So you don't need to put anything there. That's a holdover from assignment 2A's frequently made mistakes. Make sure that you have implemented movie so that it has the appropriate methods for comparison, and then you don't need to have any of this gobbledygook here at all. And we'll see that a little down further below. Down here, now we're in the movie class. There's no need to add this annotation. That'll get you into trouble, so don't have that. A bunch of people, for whatever strange reason, are still making the same mistakes that were noted in frequently made mistakes videos from assignment 2A. If you do not fix this stuff, I will not review any of your code. There is no excuse not to fix this stuff. This is incorrect. Please go back and watch the frequently made mistakes video for assignment 2A. The problem here is if there's a null, then you're going to have this code will bomb, will break, it'll throw an exception. Same problem here. Once again, if the ID field is null, then this will fail. So go back and watch the video there. Same problem here. You need to make sure that you do this properly. Any variant other than the one that's shown in the frequently made mistakes video for assignment 2A is incorrect. So don't do that. Make sure you go back and watch that video. And there's no need to do any lowercasing here. There's people that ignore case, that's incorrect. You don't need to do a lowercase there. So make sure you fix this and make sure you comment your code. Now let's take a look at the implementation of the multi-query repository impl class. And this example, there's a lot of subtlety here. If you watch the video that we did for, I think it's the quotes service, you'll see a model to use for this. But a couple things here. You don't need to use select here, and you need to add group by here in order to eliminate duplicates. And I think that should be done in my example that I walked through. So those are some things I saw. Make sure you will go back and watch the other videos. People, once again, are repeating the same mistakes from assignment 2A. Do not use flat map in conjunction with parallel stream. It's probably another good quiz question. So I explained in the assignment 2A walkthrough why you shouldn't do that. Make sure you replace this with the appropriate use of map multi instead. If you do not do that, your code is not getting reviewed. Down here, once again, make sure that you watch the frequently made mistakes video for assignment 2A, which explains what not to do. Look, this is incorrect. There's no need to have this comparator here. It should just look like that if you implement the methods in the movie class correctly. And then down here, this is way too complicated. The find all by ID containing in order by ascending or ASC method does all of this stuff. So you don't need to worry about distinct, sorted. That's what's handled by that custom SQL query that you have to implement. So you can just make that call, and none of this has to be there. So that's extra work that's unnecessary. OK, so that's the walkthrough of frequently made mistakes based on what I've seen so far. Anybody who has submitted their code by this morning, I have put some comments in your code, so take a look at that. Anybody who has not pushed their code yet, remember it's due Wednesday, and make sure you watch this video carefully and address these comments.